Yes, sirree. It's episode number 313 of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Right here. Where else than WCTV? The best place to catch everything Wadsworth. I know I'm more in Highland stuff, but I love to say Wadsworth, great city. Anyways, enough on that, as I like to say. We got to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers because the Cavaliers are doing mighty fine right now. Yes, sirree. 119.6 points per game for the Cavs. That game you're looking at happened last night. 44.4 rebounds per game, 28.3 assists per game, 8.5 steals per game, 5 blocks per game, a plus minus of 4.3. Field goal percentage is at 48.1, 3-point percentage is at 36 on the nose, and free throw percentage is at 77.4. Game recaps. Yeah, let's look at game recaps. They were all wins, by the way. Hey, I'm not going to whine about that. First was the Warriors, which was 118-111. Where Donovan Mitchell scored 25. Jared Allen, 16 points, 13 rebounds. Max Strus, 24 points, all but 6 of those points coming from three-point land. And Brandon Podziemski, 25 points. Guy Santos, 25 as well for Golden State. They were winning in the fourth quarter, Golden State. But each team had 46 rebounds, and the good old Cavaliers prevail, which is always good to see the good old Cavaliers prevail because they do a good job, such as beating the Pacers in what was kind of a nerve-wracking game, 117-108. Donovan Mitchell, 38 points, not too shabby. James Harden, 28 points, 7 assists. Thomas Bryant, 14 points, 10 boards. Micah Potter had 21 points and 12 rebounds. Obi Toppin, 21 points. Pacers were winning for most of the first 3 quarters, but the Cavs eventually came back and one and all was restored in the universe again. Pacers had 2 more assists than the good old Cavaliers, which is kind of odd, but hey, a win's a win. That's what you'd say if you're Kenny Atkinson and the gang. Cavs at the Grizzlies, where the Cavs won that one, of course. They won all 4 games that we're talking about, of course. 142-126. We saw Evan Mobley score 24. We also saw Dennis Schroeder score 22 points. He also had 11 assists. Sam Merrill, 21 points. Olivier Maxence Prosper had 24. Adama Ball had 20 points. And each team was up 17 at their peak. Yeah, Memphis was up 17 at their peak. But the Cavs won courtesy of 58.4% shooting the basketball. And Memphis ain't making the playoffs this year. They're on a 6-game losing streak. This game right here was last night. It was a good game because, guess what happened? The Cavs won. 122-116. Donovan Mitchell, 31 points. Evan Mobley, 22. 19 rebounds. That's a lot. 21 points for James Harden. Nikhil Alexander Walker, 25 points. Jonathan Kuminga, 24. Hawks were winning at the break, but they had 1 more assist than the Cavs, but they didn't win. That's always a good thing to beat the Hawks, who have been really doing a dandy lately, but they've dropped 2 straight. Cavs have won 4 straight. They're getting hot at the right time. I would just tell you that. They've won 8 of their last 10, the Cavs. Now there are 2, I repeat, 2 more games left in the 2025-26 season for those good old Cavaliers. And it consists of the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night and Washington Sunday night.
The Washington Stinkers.
Yes, the Washington Stinkers, because they are the worst team in the NBA. 17-62. Otherwise, they're doing fine. Cavs on a 4-game winning streak. Of course, the Nuggets have won 10 straight. Rockets 7 straight. Thunder 7 straight. Detroit has locked up the East. Oklahoma City's locked up the West. And that's basically all we need to know right now, because who are the Cavs going to play is the question. If the season ended today, it would be the Atlanta Hawks. But it could be the Hawks. It could be the Raptors. It could be the Magic. It could be the 76ers. Heck, it could be the Charlotte Hornets as far as we're aware. Because those 5 teams have not clinched the playoffs or play-in. They are in between. So we'll see what happens in the next weekend, over this weekend, to see who will make the playoffs and who the Cavs will be dealt. Anyways, folks, we got to talk about the Cleveland Guardians. Yep, they're doing great this year. Yeah, Connor Brogdon and Cade Smith, 2 wins apiece. Cade Smith, the Canadian closer who does not bet against the Guardians, 3 saves this year. Gavin Williams, 25 strikeouts, 2.04 ERA, and a 1.08 whip. What you're looking at right here, I believe, is opening day, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, enough on that. Guardians at the Cubs. Guardians win that series 2-1. Chase Dewar home run, 3 RBIs for Mr. Dewar, who's really doing a good job. He might be leading Rookie of the Year stuff through the first 2 weeks. Let's hope that he keeps it up. I don't know if he'll keep it up or whatnot, but it's always your intent. Bullpen gave up just 1 hit. So they gave up 1 hit in game 1. That's pretty good. CJ Kafis, what was not good, he only had 1 hit. I repeat, 1 hit for the Guardians. And it was the only hit for the Guardians in the second game, which was the first game of a doubleheader. And Miguel Amaya had the only RBI. They were combined 3 hits. 3 hits. My goodness, that ain't good. But what is good is that the Guardians did win the second game of the Twin Bill with Gabriel Arias and CJ Kafis with 2 RBIs apiece. And the Cubs struck out 12 times in that third game. Anyways, time to talk about the Royals, where the Guardians won 2-1. We saw Stephen Kwan hit a home run in the first game. In the first game, we saw a little bit of some franchise history, where we saw Jose Ramirez set the franchise record for most games played in a Cleveland uniform. My goodness, that consists of everything for every team that has been, or every player really. I can't speak, can I? But you got the gist. Guardians franchise history, that dates back to 1901. My goodness, Jose Ramirez, definitely good for him. Carter Jensen in the second game for Kansas City had a hit. It was a home run. Was the only hit for the Royals that day. And not just that, but Gavin Williams went 5 2/3 innings, giving up that only, I repeat, only hit and only run. And Brian Rocchio hit the walk-off single. Yesterday, it was a good game, and the Cleveland Guardians really took it to Kansas City. Courtesy of Angel Martinez hitting a grand slam, and Jose Ramirez having 2 hits. Not bad. We got to look at the Cleveland Guardians in the standings. Yes, the standings. Yeah, they're in first place, to nobody's surprise. What is surprising is the Tigers are 4-8 on the season. That's not what we expected. What we did expect is that the good old Guardians to do well. 8-5 on the season. Riding a nice little 2-game winning streak. They have scored 46 runs this year, giving up 43 runs this year. They got the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta tomorrow night. And then after that, it will be the Braves on Saturday. And the Braves on Sunday night on Peacock. I wish I had streaming services. And then they'll be going to St. Louis to play the Cardinals before it'll be Baltimore the next time we talk. But it'll be a road trip for the good old Guardians. Let's hope it goes well. I think it's going to go well. I mean, they're yet to drop a series. 2 of the 3 Dodgers losses this season have come to the hands of the Cleveland Guardians. Who would have thunk it at the beginning of the year? As there's Gabriel Arias launching one into the right field seats. Opening day never fails to draw a large crowd. If you know what I mean. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Hopefully I said that correctly. Alrighty, folks. I don't know if you've heard or whatnot, but there is a Highland Senior Talent Show coming up in 2 days. Yes, 2 days. It's Mr. Hornet on April 11th. It starts at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now because Mrs. Law does a great job at it. There are so many candidates. Let me count how many candidates there are. Let me check under the Highland Yearbook Instagram page. Highland HS Yearbook, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I'm not mistaken. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 contestants. You would also have 10 contestants in Mr. Hornet. That's right, the 2022 rendition, which was the greatest Mr. Hornet of all time. This has the likings and makings of being perhaps the second best. I say that every year, but I'm not wrong. The second best Mr. Horner of all time because, I don't know. My class was the first one since COVID, first one in 3 years. It was so much fun. It was so exciting. We did the dirty dancing bit. I was the one that got lifted up during the opening dance, as you might expect, because I'm 140 pounds. I probably would have been crushed to my death had I had to lift up for Mr. Horner and dirty dancing. That would not be fun. I'm not that strong either. I got pool noodles for arms. But enough on that. It was fun. We saw, during Mr. Horner, we saw some drumming, singing, dancing. A good way to start off your Wordle. If you still play that, I'm not going to say it because it wasn't really a good thing. It was hilarious, though. It was absolutely hilarious. And, of course, what else? Piano playing blindfolded. And some dorky nerd was yelling into a microphone for 5 minutes, pretending to be Tom Hamilton or the late Jim Donovan or the late Fred McLeod or something like that. That guy was me, pretending to yell into the microphone as announcing Cleveland sports. Yeah, it blew out everyone's eardrums, but everybody got a kick out of it. I was most likely to be a celebrity in high school. I don't know if you can tell, but I miss high school. High school baseball, while we're on the subject of that game, or those games are heating up. Of course, Highland tied Wadsworth. Yeah, tied Wadsworth. That's odd. 0-0. We got Revere today and Avon tomorrow. We beat up Revere 12-1 yesterday. Did that game go into mercy? Yes, it did. 12-1. Game was called in 6 innings. Hey, I'll take that every day of the week. But anyways, I don't know what to expect on Mr. Horn Saturday night. I expect a lot of good stuff. Maybe we'll see a steamed ham sketch. Who knows? I don't. What I do know is that I'm Tommy Maroon. I'm thanking you folks for watching. Until next time, so long.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.